Okay, so basically this week we'll be making a project. Not this week, in this video, I'll be basically demonstrating a project in which I create a form and then I'll style it using CSS. The forms had been introduced in the previous session and the video has been uploaded already. And we also introduced the concept of using CSS. So I'll be applying that to the form to make it look better. Okay, you'll see I've opened both the files simultaneously. Basically this thing will allow you to do this split editor. Okay. Now on the left hand, you'll see the CSS file. I've used this asterisk symbol and then have declared some properties over here. So the asterisk is basically the universal selector. It basically selects every possible element in HTML and then applies the specified properties to them. So margin, padding, and borders should not be a problem by now because these were discussed. Outline is basically, it appears outside the border. It plays an important role in keyboard navigation, but we're not really concerned about that right now. And we do not want anything to appear in case we hover, in case we select an element. That's why I've removed the outline property, basically set it to 0. And the box sizing, we discussed about the CSS box model. So we'll explain this later on, like what's the entire use of box sizing, but just use it right now. We'll explain it later on. Don't forget about that. So I have this, and about my HTML file, I have a very basic HTML file, and I've linked the style sheet. I've created a container and a div element, and inside that I've given the class container. Okay. So now let's quickly create a form. I do not need the action attribute because I'm not really going to make. I don't really want to submit this anymore. I'm just concerned about the UI right now. So I'll quickly make two divs. The first div, I'll basically be creating a label. This works. Um, yeah. And then let's say I'll add a value for. So for I'll write let's say user underscore name. So this looks okay, I guess. And then let's check this. It looks like this right now. Now I'll add an input area inside the another div. Basically, why we are using div is it allows us to break the entire code into different divisions. Also, because it allows us to eliminate the use of vr tag. So we'll explain the role of inline and block elements, which will make it clearer as to why we use divs. And yeah, divs are really important while making things. So I'll make a text input, and I don't require the name right now, but I require the ID because I'm using the label. Okay, so now you can see when I click this, the input area is getting selected. It might not be visible to you right now because I've not added anything and I've removed the border and pattern, so it's not really visible. So anyway, I'll create some more text. I'll basically copy paste this three times. First one we created name. Let's say for the next one we find the email. And since we're accepting email, we change the type to email. Over here, I'll change this to, let's say, age. And then I'll accept the user age. Now over here, I can change this to number because I'm accepting age. I want numbers. And we'll also add two more attributes, min and max, which will basically allow me to set the range for the age. Okay. So I guess this looks like this right now. Now I'll move below and I have my label. For this one, I want a comment, let's say. Change this to user comment. And I'll remove this input area. I want a text area. Yeah. So I'll remove the name once again. User font. I don't want columns and rows right now because I'm not. I'll set the width and height for the text area using CSS. So this is what it looks like right now. It's not really visible, but that's fine. So we'll be using a background attachment. That's why we use the URL. So we attach a background image. We set the position to center, and we set the size to cover. So this is what it looks like right now. So the images are getting repeated. To avoid that, I've used background repeat. This is what it looks like right now. Let's set a color of white. So the text color got changed to white. Set a font family as well. Let's say, but so the font family got changed. So what font family does is basically changes the font, like what type of font you want to use. So you have different types of fonts, right? So you can select that, and the color property and color changes the color of the text. And why I put this under the body element because then it gets applied to all other elements which are described inside the body. So I guess that much is clear right now. Now I'll be selecting my container. I'll add a bit element. Not right, a bit. Let's say 600 pixels. The background of, let's say, my GPU 255. So this looks like this right now. I will set margin to auto. So what this does is spaces this equally from left and right, and I'll set a margin top. You can declare these together as well, but I find it better to use different to declare it twice because that's easier to read. Say 100 pixels. So this looks like this right now. Now let's move on to the form element. Let's say I want to add a padding of 20 pixels. 20 pixels is less. It's at 50 pixels. So it's 100 pixels, that's fine. 100 pixels, that's fine. Now I'll add a label and I'll add a font size of 20 pixels. So this looks like this right now. Okay. And let's just do one thing. Let's make this even more transparent. Okay. So I guess this looks better. Name is also visible right now. I'll do one thing. I'll change this, do something a little bit darker. That then work. I'll change this manually then. So it's black right now. And if I want, I can reduce the transparency. Increase whatever. Yeah, so this looks better, I guess. So now let's move on to the inputs. And set up with a 100% and a height of, let's say, 50 pixels. 60 pixels actually. Because this is a little less. Yeah. Then add a margin of 20 pixels. Also margin bottom. So this looks like this right now. I actually increase visible for, yeah. So I guess this looks better right now. And I can actually do one thing. I can use a transparency for this image. I'll basically no, I'm gonna do that. I'll rather do this. This. I guess this is just the right one. Let's move into the text area. I want to add a width of 100% and the height of 100 pixels. This looks like this right now. And let us look at some more things. We have 100 pixels margin above and below the form. I'll also add this over here, the margin property. So this is my form right now. And I'll add some placeholders. This will basically allow me to have some default text. I'll change this. And here the comment. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. I'll add some padding. Let's say 20 pixels. Yeah. So this is what my form looks like right now. And yeah. So let's say you want to change the color inside. Let it be. Let's keep it as. Let's make this a bit transparent. To do that, I use the background. RGBA. Inside this, I need this. Let's say 7. Okay. So we're forming right now. I'll switch to more transparent so that it looks better. I guess this looks a little better, I guess. Yeah, I'll also increase the padding. Margins with my padding to, let's just keep it like that. Let's say you're entering some texture. I don't want it to appear black, so I'll change this now. Actually, what I'll do is, since I don't want the same color everywhere, I just put this one for label. And so input area, put a new color. That's it. So text is visible right now. And also change this for my text area. So text is visible right now. What about the placeholder? It's not really visible. So I'll use this. This might not make that much sense right now, but basically it's selecting the placeholder and setting its properties. So let's say the color. And I want this to be transparent. So I'll reduce the opacity. I'll also change the font size for both the text area and the input. Let's say 6. And I'll do the same for this. Okay, so I guess that's what I mean for check this. Yeah, so this works now. So we have a decent looking form right now. And yeah, so what we do right now is basically create a button. We need a button to submit things, right? So yeah, that's what we'll do. It's a pretty decent looking form. It's not something very extraordinary. It's just it's like, and I just made something to show what type of forms we can make. So this is definitely better than a raw form. So I can enter my details over here, but we also need a submit button, right? So I create a div inside which I'll create an input. So I create this. Um, yeah. Actually, let's use the button element. I want to style it separately. Yeah. So we have a button, and let's say I want to add something inside this. So submit. So I have a button called submit. I set a button now. Let's say pixels. Okay. I change the background color to, let's say, green doesn't sit that, but so this will be transparent. And also add a border because it's not really visible. Let's change the font property. Okay. So this is what my form looks like right now. And I'll also add a pointer. It's my cursor pointer. Basically, what it does is when I bring the cursor over this element, it basically makes it appear like this. So you can see the difference and actually increase this a little bit. Yeah, it's white. I should change the color perhaps. Yes, this would look definitely better. I'll change this. Okay, now there are ways of getting around this. You can also use the depth tool to check how your UI looks like. So you don't have to switch between the editor and this file every time. But the reason I'm not doing this because we have not used the concept of that tool. I also add a font weight. So this is, yeah, this is somewhat bolder right now. I think the color. Yeah, I guess this is, okay, this is not really that, but it doesn't look that good. I know. Maybe the colors are mismatched or something, but it's still decent. Yes. So, okay, so we have a sort of working form, and this looks like this right now. And just I'll quickly post this up. Not post this, I'll quickly run a test to check whether it runs perfectly or not. Okay, so I'll be using this website called Validator.wc.org, which basically allows you to check whether the markup syntax is correct or not. So to do that, I'll since I have this file on my local device, I use this file validate by file upload. So just a minute, I'll verify that. Okay, so as you can see, I opened the file and I checked it, so there were no errors. So our website is good to go. Website page. Oh, yeah. So you can go over this thing right now. So let's just go over these things. So basically, we created a container inside. We had a form. The form we created just to separate the different elements, and inside every first block, we put this label attribute, not attribute, label element. And inside that, we declare whatever we wanted to. Then we created inputs, text areas, and we repeated this. We repeated this until we got whatever we want. And in the end, we created a button called submit and gave it the value submit. Inside the CSS file, we had this universe selector, apply these properties to every element, and then we had a body inside which we added backgrounds and font family. Inside the container, we added a width, a background, and these things. So inside the form, there was not really much to do. We only added padding. Inside the label attribute, we added these. And inside the input, as you can see, we added certain things. Now you might think that these I could have used a shorthand for margin or other things, but I'm not really doing that because I guess it's easier to demonstrate it like this right now. For those people who are quite new to CSS, this will basically enable them to learn things. So like if I had used the shortened property, it might have confused people, like how things move around. That's why I use that. Okay. So this is pretty much it for this video, and hope to see you excelling. Like if you have any queries, then just ask us on our Discord server, and that's pretty much it. So goodbye.